First one, and this is the most common issue, probably the biggest thing to pay attention to, it's this right here. So I grab the gun with my firing hand and I see how big of a pocket I have on the support hand, on the support side. Now I need a big enough pocket that I can actually get my hand in there and effectively grip the gun. You can see here, just look at how much of the grip panel my fingers take up. There's not enough space on this old SP01 for me to get my support hand in there. I would need to get fatter grip panels to fit this gun to me. This is the most common issue with adult males shooting full-size competition guns. Typically, it'll be they buy a factory Shadow 2 and they get the factory grips on here, and these are too small and too thin. That's really common. So you want to make sure the gun is big enough that you can actually grab it. Here's a Glock with no backstrap. You can see it's very small in here. This is the small edge of what I personally can deal with. Like, that's as small as I can be and effectively grip the gun. Another measurement to pay attention to is from the backstrap to the front of the trigger face. That's going to be the reach for the trigger. Now, this is another thing that trips up a lot of people, especially with the Shadows. You can see here, there's some distance here between the backstrap and the front of the trigger. It's a relatively long reach on this gun, which is why the reach reduction kits are popular. Got one right here. You can see it slightly reduces this measurement from trigger face to backstrap. Those two measurements are the key. Like making sure you have enough space that you can get your support hand on the gun and making sure you can physically reach the trigger. In terms of fit, they're not really negotiable. When the gun's too small for you to effectively grip it, it's going to slow down your shooting. When you cannot physically reach around and grab the trigger, it's going to slow down your shooting and make it less accurate. These days, you can change back straps, you can change grip panels, you can change trigger shoes, you can change all sorts of shit on these guns. So you just want to make sure that it's fitted to you. It's not about just copying other people and using the stuff they use. Two other controls that we should talk about. That's the magazine release and the slide stop. What I recommend is not getting wrapped around the axle on can you reach the magazine release, that type of thing. Notice I cannot reach the magazine release on this gun without shifting my grip around in my hand. None of these guns back here, I can't reach the magazine release on any of them. And it's not a big deal because when I reload, I just relax my hand and I punch the magazine release like so. Just like relax my hand, punch mag release. I would not get a smaller grip just so I can reach the mag release. And I wouldn't get such a big button that I have to be careful how I grip the gun, otherwise the fucking magazines will fall out. No bueno. Slide stop, same deal. For me, I don't even use the slide stop with my strong side thumb. As a control measure, I'll make sure that I seat the magazine and then I roll my thumb up and hit with this hand. That's to make sure that I'm not on the slide stop early and I make sure I get the round in the chamber. I don't really worry about those being able to reach those controls without shifting my grip around. I just see that cause problems for people. Many top shooters have to shift the guns around in their hands anyway in order to reload them, and it really isn't a big deal, and you shouldn't worry about it, and you shouldn't compromise on the grip panels or the trigger reach. You should not compromise in those areas just to be able to reach the mag release. It's not a big deal. Practical shooting training, got drills, live fire drills, some guidance for dry fire, some dry fire drills, lots of different places you can start. It works for people of all different levels. If you want to train seriously with a handgun, especially for competition, this is the one to get.